Okay, so picture this. Your city, your home, is on the absolute brink of total destruction. I mean, the world as you know it is about to end. And it's right in that moment of total crisis, that a message of impossible hope breaks through. And that's exactly what we're going to dive into today. Now, these aren't just poetic words. You have to understand, this was like a death sentence being read out loud for a city. The prophet Jeremiah is delivering this message, describing the end of, well, everything for the people of Jerusalem. And this sets the stage for one of the most dramatic turnarounds you'll find anywhere. And this wasn't some far-off hypothetical threat. The Babylonian army, the undisputed superpower of its day, was literally at the gates. Can you imagine? Inside those walls, people were facing starvation, constant fear, and the very real possibility that their entire world was about to collapse. You know, a disaster like this doesn't just happen overnight. It was this slow, grinding process that took decades. It all started with Babylon becoming the big regional power. Then, by 597 BC, they'd already carried off many of Jerusalem's leading citizens. And then came the final brutal siege, starting in 588 BC, which, 2 years later, ended with the complete destruction of the city and its sacred temple. It was, truly, the end of an era. The word the prophecy uses is desolation, and we really need to get what that means. It's so much more than just empty streets. It's that chilling, eerie silence where there used to be bustling markets, laughter, and prayer. It's the absence of not just people, but even animals. Just a total, lifeless quiet. And right here, at rock bottom, the whole story just takes this wild turn. Just when all hope seems totally lost, Jeremiah delivers a message that is completely unexpected. It's not a call to surrender, it's not a final word of judgment, it's a promise of restoration. Look at this contrast. It is just staggering. On one side, you've got the grim reality, on the ground, desolation, silence, exile, judgment. But on the other side, you've got this impossible promise, prosperity, joy, return, and mercy. It's a complete 180. And get this restoration wasn't meant to be some quiet little secret. The prophecy says Jerusalem's comeback will be so stunning that it will become this global testimony. The other nations, the ones who literally watched it fall, would look on in absolute awe. It says fear and tremble, not because of Jerusalem's power, but because of the goodness of the God who could bring a city back from the dead. So how does a restoration like this even begin? Not with rebuilding walls or palaces. It starts with something way more fundamental: sound. The promise is to break that deadening silence of desolation with the sound of pure, unmistakable joy.
So what are the very first sounds to return? The sounds of a wedding. This is so powerful when you think about it. Weddings are this profound act of faith in the future, right? They mean new families, new life, continuity. For a city marked for death, God promises the sound of brand new beginnings. It's incredible.
And that personal joy, it doesn't just stay personal. It flows right into communal worship. The sounds of celebration are joined by the sounds of praise. And that line about bringing a sacrifice of praise into the house of the Lord, that's a direct promise that the temple, which was in ruins, will be rebuilt. The spiritual heart of the nation will start beating again. But this wave of renewal, it doesn't just stop at the city gates. The vision expands. It paints this beautiful picture of peace and stability returning to the entire countryside, that quiet, pastoral life that was the backbone of their whole culture. And just to show how complete this restoration is going to be, the prophecy gets incredibly specific. It actually lists all the different regions of the kingdom, from the mountains to the lowlands, down to the south. The message is crystal clear. No one and no place will be left out of this renewal. Now, there's this one phrase in here that is just so personal and beautiful. It says, "The flocks will pass again under the hands of him that telleth them." This isn't just about sheep. It's a powerful metaphor for God. See, a shepherd doesn't count his flock from a distance. He is right there, feeling each one as it passes by. It's this symbol of intimate, personal care, that every single person matters and will be personally accounted for. So you might be asking, okay, that's a nice story, but did any of it actually happen? And the answer is yes. Decades later, history turned a massive corner. The Persian Empire took over Babylon, and the new king, Cyrus, issued a decree that let the exiled Jews go home. And so the long, hard work of rebuilding Jerusalem and the temple began.
turning this unbelievable prophecy into a real, tangible thing.
And the passage ends with this powerful confirmation. It's like a divine signature on the promise. God basically says, look, the day is coming when I'm going to do this good thing I promised. It's a statement that despite how things look right now, his word is good and he is faithful. So all of this leaves us with a question, one that is just as relevant for us today as it was 2,500 years ago. In the middle of our own struggles, our own moments of what feels like desolation, what does it really mean to hold on to a promise of future joy? What does it look like to believe that the sound of gladness can and will break the silence?